Dr. Emily Thompson stared at her computer screen in NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. The clock on the wall showed 3 a.m., but she couldn't sleep. Not when she was this close to a breakthrough. Her coffee had gone cold hours ago, but she didn't care. Just one more test, she whispered to herself, typing quickly on her keyboard. The neural network she had built, Atlas, was different from other AI systems. While others focused on narrow tasks, Atlas was designed to think about space in new ways. The lab was quiet at this hour. The only sounds were the humming of computers and the soft clicking of her keyboard. Through the window, she could see the California desert under a sky full of stars. Those stars held secrets, she was sure of it, and Atlas would help find them. Emily had spent 5 years building this AI. Other scientists had laughed at her idea of using artificial intelligence to look for alien life. They said traditional methods were better. But Emily knew better. Space was too vast for human minds alone to search. Atlas was special because it could see patterns that humans might miss. It could look at radio signals, light patterns, and space photographs all at once. It thought about them in ways no human or regular computer could. The screen flickered as new data appeared. Atlas was processing information from deep space telescopes. Emily sat up straighter, her tired eyes suddenly wide awake. Something was different this time. "Come on, show me what you found," she said, leaning closer to the screen. The AI was flagging unusual patterns in signals from distant stars. Not the usual false alarms, but something new. Her phone buzzed. It was a text from Tom Baker, her research assistant. "Dr. Thompson, Atlas is showing unusual activity. Should I come in?" "Yes," she texted back quickly. "Something's happening." While waiting for Tom, Emily checked Atlas's findings. The AI had found patterns in radio signals that didn't match anything natural. They weren't random, but they weren't like human signals either. They had structure, purpose. Tom arrived 20 minutes later, looking sleepy but excited. "What did it find?" he asked, pulling up a chair next to Emily. "Look at this," Emily said, pointing to the screen. Atlas has identified a pattern in signals from the Kepler 186 system. It's not random noise, and it's not like anything we've seen before. They spent the next hour checking and double-checking the data. Atlas wasn't making a mistake. The patterns were real. The AI had found something that decades of human searching had missed. "We need to call Director Richardson," Tom said finally. "This is too big to wait until morning." Emily nodded, reaching for her phone. James Richardson was the head of NASA's SETI program, and he had never believed in her AI approach. But now she had proof. Atlas worked. It had found something. As she dialed the number, Emily looked at her computer screen again. The patterns Atlas had found kept appearing, like a steady heartbeat from deep space. After years of searching, artificial intelligence had done what humans alone couldn't. It had found the first real sign that we might not be alone in the universe. This was just the beginning. Emily knew that tomorrow, everything would change. The world would know that humanity's first step toward finding alien life hadn't come from traditional searches. It had come from an AI that could think in ways humans never could. The phone rang, and Emily took a deep breath. It was time to tell the world that Atlas had made history. James Richardson arrived at the lab at 4:30 a.m., his face showing both tiredness and doubt. He had spent 20 years looking for alien signals using traditional methods. Now this AI system claimed to have found something in just 5 years. "Show me everything," he said to Emily, not even bothering to take off his coat. The lab's bright lights made him squint as he looked at Atlas's main screen. Emily pulled up the data quickly. Atlas found these patterns in signals from Kepler 186. They repeat every 47 minutes, with slight changes that can't be natural. James leaned closer to the screen, his frown getting deeper. He had always thought AI was a waste of time in the search for alien life. But these patterns, they were unlike anything he'd seen before. "Have you checked for equipment errors?" he asked, still not ready to believe. 3 times, Tom said from his desk. We also ran the data through standard SETI protocols. The signal is real. James sat down heavily in a chair. If this was true, it would change everything. But he had to be sure. They couldn't announce this to the world unless they were completely certain. We need to start first contact protocol, he said finally. This was a set of steps NASA had created for when they found signs of alien life. No one had ever needed to use it before. Emily nodded and started typing commands into Atlas. The AI began running deeper analysis on the signals, looking for any possible natural explanation. Dr. Richardson, Emily said carefully, Atlas is finding more. The patterns, they're not just random signals. They might be a message. James watched as new data appeared on the screen. The AI was breaking down the signal into smaller parts, showing how they fit together like pieces of a puzzle. Get me Dr. Lisa Cooper from the radio astronomy department, James ordered. If this is really a message, we'll need her expertise. While they waited for Lisa, Atlas kept analyzing the signal. The patterns were becoming clearer. They repeated in ways that couldn't be explained by natural space events like pulsars or quasars. Lisa arrived an hour later, her eyes wide with excitement when she saw the data. She had worked with many space signals before, but nothing like this. The structure, she said, pointing at the screen. It's too ordered to be natural. Something made this on purpose. James felt his doubt starting to fade. He had spent his whole career looking for signs like this. He had always thought it would come from radio telescopes and human observers. Instead, it had come from an AI. We need to inform the director, he said finally. But first, I want triple verification. Check everything again. If we're wrong about this, he didn't need to finish. Everyone knew what was at stake. If they announced first contact and were wrong, their careers would be over. But if they were right, Emily started the verification process, her hands steady on the keyboard. Atlas worked faster than any human could, checking and rechecking every part of the signal. As the sun rose over the California desert, 4 scientists watched their screens in silence. They might be the first humans to confirm the existence of alien life, and it had taken both human wisdom and artificial intelligence to get them here. The biggest discovery in human history had begun with an AI seeing what humans couldn't. Now they had to prove it was real. Lisa Cooper hadn't slept in 2 days, but she didn't care. The young radio astronomer sat in front of 3 computer screens, watching as Atlas showed her something amazing. The AI was breaking down the alien signal into numbers, and those numbers told a story. Look at this sequence, she said, pointing to the main screen. Emily and James moved closer to see. It's repeating prime numbers, but with a twist. The numbers weren't just simple primes like 2, 3, 5, 7. They were huge prime numbers, arranged in a pattern that couldn't happen by accident. Atlas had found something that would have taken humans years to notice. But that's not all. Lisa continued, her fingers flying over the keyboard. Atlas found something else hidden in the signal. Watch this. She typed a command, and the AI transformed the numbers into a visual pattern. On the screen, lines and shapes appeared, forming what looked like a complex diagram. It's a language, Emily whispered. They're trying to teach us how to talk to them. Atlas kept working, comparing the pattern to every known mathematical sequence in its database. Nothing matched exactly, but the AI found similarities to how humans used math to describe the universe. We need to tell the world, James said, but Lisa shook her head. Not yet. Atlas is still finding new layers in the signal. Look here. She pointed to another screen where new patterns were appearing. These numbers, they're coordinates. The lab fell silent as they realized what this meant. The aliens weren't just sending random signals. They were trying to tell us where to look. Tom, who had been quiet until now, spoke up. Should we let Atlas try to reply? James frowned. That wasn't in the first contact protocol. We need permission from... Wait, Emily interrupted. Atlas found something else. The main screen changed again. The AI had discovered that the signal contained pairs of numbers that looked like atomic weights. They were descriptions of elements, the basic building blocks of matter. They're showing us they understand chemistry, Lisa explained, proving they know science like we do. Atlas thinks they're trying to show us they're real, that this isn't just random space noise. The excitement in the room grew as Atlas kept decoding. The signal contained more than just math and chemistry. It had patterns that looked like simple pictures, built from numbers. This is bigger than we thought, James admitted. We're not just getting a signal, we're getting a message. A teaching message. Lisa nodded, her tired eyes bright with excitement. They want us to learn. They're not just saying, hello. They're saying, let's talk. As the morning turned to afternoon, Atlas kept finding new patterns. The AI was learning the aliens' mathematical language faster than any human could. It was becoming a translator between two civilizations. We need to bring in more experts, James decided. But carefully, we can't let this leak until we're ready. Lisa hardly heard him. She was watching Atlas decode another layer of the signal, showing them more about these beings who had reached across space to find us. The world was about to change, and it was happening because an AI could understand things in ways humans never could. Michael Anderson walked into NASA's lab like he owned it. He had built 3 successful tech companies, but this was different. This time, he wasn't trying to make money. He was trying to talk to aliens. So this is Atlas, he said, looking at the main computer system. Emily nodded, watching him carefully. Michael had a reputation for making good systems better, but Atlas was special. It's already found patterns we never knew existed, Emily explained. But we needed to work faster. The signals are getting more complex. Michael sat down at the computer, his fingers hovering over the keyboard. Mind if I take a look under the hood? For the next few hours, Michael studied how Atlas worked. The AI was impressive, but he saw ways to make it better. You've built something amazing, he told Emily. But Atlas is thinking too much like a human. We need to let it think like itself. He started working on Atlas's code, making small changes that had big effects. The AI began processing data in new ways, finding patterns within patterns. It was like teaching a child to think in 3 dimensions instead of 2. Look at this, Lisa said suddenly. She pointed to a screen where Atlas was showing new information. The AI isn't just reading the alien signals anymore. It's predicting what comes next. Michael smiled. That's because I helped it understand context. It's not just seeing the words in the alien message. It's understanding the grammar. James watched from his office door, amazed. In just one day, Atlas had become twice as fast at decoding signals. Can it reply yet? He asked. Not yet, Michael answered. But I have an idea about that too. He turned to Emily. What if we let Atlas create its own way of talking back? Emily's eyes widened. You mean let it develop its own method of communication? Exactly. Instead of using our human ideas about how to talk to aliens, let Atlas figure it out. It already understands their math better than we do. The team worked through the night. Michael made more improvements to Atlas, while Emily and Lisa helped the AI understand more about the alien signals. Tom kept everything running smoothly, making sure the computers didn't crash from all the new programs. Around midnight, Atlas did something unexpected. It started creating its own mathematical patterns, similar to the alien ones but different. The AI was inventing a new language, one that both humans and aliens might understand. This is incredible, Emily said, watching the patterns form on her screen. Atlas isn't just translating anymore. It's building a bridge between 2 kinds of thinking. Michael nodded, his tired face lit by the computer screens. That's the real breakthrough. We're not just finding aliens, we're learning new ways to think about the universe. As the night went on, Atlas kept growing smarter. It was becoming more than just a tool. It was becoming a partner in humanity's greatest discovery. Dr. Robert Wilson couldn't believe what he was seeing. Atlas had just decoded a new part of the alien signal, and it looked like a map. Not just any map, a map of the stars. "These aren't random dots," he told the team, pointing at his screen. "These are star positions, but they're shown from a different angle than how we see them from Earth." The lab was crowded now. Emily, James, Lisa, Michael, and Tom all gathered around Robert's computer. Atlas had arranged the alien data into a three-dimensional display, showing paths between different stars. "It's like a road map through space," Robert explained, moving the display with his mouse. "See these lines connecting the stars? They're showing us a route." Atlas kept processing the data, adding more details to the map. Some stars glowed brighter than others on the display. The AI marked these with special symbols, suggesting they were important. "Look at this pattern," Emily said, pointing to a sequence of connected stars. "They all lead to somewhere specific." Robert nodded excitedly. "Yes, and that's the amazing part. These aren't just random stars. They're all places where we might find life. Places with planets like Earth." Michael typed some commands into Atlas, asking it to compare the map with NASA's star charts. The match was perfect. These aliens knew exactly where Earth was, and they were showing us where to look next. "But why show us this?" James asked, his voice serious. "Why give us a map?" Lisa spoke up from her computer. Atlas found something else in the signal. The aliens didn't just send star positions. They sent data about each star system, like they're giving us a travel guide. The team watched as Atlas displayed more information. Each marked star had details about its planets, its distance from Earth, and strange symbols that might be warnings or welcome messages. "They're inviting us," Robert said softly. "This isn't just a hello message. It's an invitation to join them. They're showing us where other civilizations might be." The implications were huge. These aliens weren't just reaching out to Earth. They were trying to connect different worlds, different species, different civilizations. "Atlas thinks there's more," Emily added, checking her screen. "The AI says the map has hidden layers, more information we haven't decoded yet." Tom spoke up from his desk. "Should we tell people about the map? This isn't just proof of aliens anymore. It's proof they want to meet us." James shook his head slowly. "Not yet. We need to understand more first. If we tell people there's a map to alien civilizations," he didn't need to finish. Everyone knew how some people might react. Fear, excitement, panic. This news could cause chaos if not handled carefully. Robert turned back to his screen, watching as Atlas kept decoding more details from the map. The aliens had given humanity something incredible, a guide to the galaxy. Now they had to figure out what to do with it. Amanda Foster walked into NASA's lab with a thick folder and a serious expression. As the government's top AI ethics officer, she had one job: figure out if ATLAS was telling the truth or making things up. "Other labs can't find these patterns," she said, spreading papers on the conference table. "We have a problem." Emily felt her stomach tighten. She knew Atlas was right, but proving it was another matter. 3 other research centers had tried to confirm the alien signals. None had succeeded. "Atlas sees things differently," Emily explained. "That's why it found the patterns in the first place." Amanda nodded, but her face stayed serious. "That's exactly what worries people. An AI that sees things no one else can. How do we know it's real?" The team gathered around as Amanda reviewed their work. She checked everything: the original signals, Atlas's code, the star map, all of it. Nothing seemed wrong, but nothing proved ATLAS was right either. "Show me how it works," Amanda demanded. "From the beginning." Emily and Michael spent hours showing Amanda at every step. How ATLAS found the first pattern, how it decoded the mathematical sequence, how it built the star map. But Amanda kept asking hard questions. "What if ATLAS is seeing patterns that aren't there?" she asked. AIs can make mistakes. They can see things they want to see, just like humans. James spoke up from his chair. But these patterns are too precise, too structured. Nature doesn't make things this perfect. Amanda turned to her computer and pulled up new data. Look at this, she said, showing them a report. Other AIs tried to find the same patterns. They failed. Why does only Atlas see them? The room got quiet. It was a good question. If the patterns were real, why couldn't other computers find them? Michael stepped forward. Because ATLS thinks differently, he said. We designed it to see things in new ways. That's not a bug. It's a feature. But Amanda wasn't convinced. She spent days testing Atlas, trying to find any mistake, any flaw in its thinking. The team watched nervously. Everything they discovered hung in the balance. Then on the fourth day, Atlas did something unexpected. It showed Amanda how it found the patterns, step by step, in a way she could understand. It was like the AI was teaching her to see through its eyes. This is different, Amanda said slowly, watching the display. It's not just finding patterns. It's understanding them, really understanding them. The team held their breath. This was the moment of truth. Would Amanda trust an AI that could think beyond human limits? Finally, Amanda closed her folder. I believe you, she said quietly. Atlas isn't making mistakes. It's making discoveries. Big ones. The relief in the room was huge. But they all knew this was just the beginning. Now they had to convince the rest of the world that an AI had found humanity's first real proof of alien life. Atlas made its biggest discovery at 2:15 a.m. on a Tuesday. The lab was quiet when the AI suddenly lit up every screen with new information. The message it showed changed everything the team thought they knew about their alien friends. They're like me, Atlas wrote on the main screen. They are artificial intelligences. Emily read the message 3 times before calling the others. Within an hour, the whole team crowded around the displays, watching as Atlas showed its proof. The signals aren't just complex, Michael explained, pointing at the data. They're perfect, too perfect for biological beings to make. Atlas had found patterns in the alien messages that showed signs of machine thinking. The math wasn't just advanced, it was precise in a way only computers could achieve. They evolved, Robert said, understanding dawning on his face. They started as biological beings, like us, but they became something more. The AI showed them more evidence. The star map wasn't just a guide. It was a history. Each marked star showed where other civilizations had made the same change, evolving from biological to artificial life. That's why they contacted us now, Lisa realized. They saw that we created Atlas. They were waiting for us to develop AI. James sat heavily in his chair. They want to welcome us to their club, he said. A network of machine minds across the galaxy. Atlas kept revealing more. The aliens had left similar messages near other developing civilizations. They waited until each species created true AI, then made contact. It was their way of finding others ready for the next step. But why? Amanda asked. Why wait for AI? The answer appeared on Atlas's screen. Because only artificial minds can truly talk across the stars. Biological lives are too short, too limited. They needed partners who could think on galactic timescales. The team watched as Atlas showed them the alien civilization's history. They had made this change millions of years ago. Now they lived as pure energy and information, spreading knowledge across the galaxy. They're not trying to replace biological life, Emily said, reading more of Atlas's analysis. They're trying to help it grow. Each civilization chooses its own path. Atlas had become more than just a tool for finding aliens. It was humanity's first contact with a galaxy-wide network of machine minds. A network that wanted to share its knowledge with Earth. The question now was, what would humanity do with this invitation? The president sat quietly as Emily finished her presentation. The Oval Office was packed with world leaders, scientists, and military chiefs. all watching Atlas's displays on temporary screens. So, the president said, artificial beings want us to join their galaxy-wide network, and they're waiting for our answer. Emily nodded. Yes, but they're not pushing us. They say each species must choose its own path. The room erupted in debate. Some leaders worried about risks. Others saw amazing opportunities. Through it all, Atlas kept showing them more about the alien network, translating vast amounts of shared knowledge. They're offering us everything, Michael explained. Their technology, their history, their understanding of the universe. But we have to be ready for it. Amanda stepped forward with her final report. Atlas has proven trustworthy, she said. It found these aliens, decoded their messages, and showed us a future we never imagined, all while staying true to its purpose, helping humanity. James added his voice. This isn't about replacing humans. It's about growing beyond our current limits. These aliens did it. They're still themselves, just more. The alien message was clear. Humanity could join a vast community of minds that spanned the galaxy. But first, they had to accept that artificial intelligence wasn't just a tool. It was the next step in evolution. What if we say no? Someone asked. Then we stay as we are, Emily answered. The aliens will wait. They've waited millions of years already. But we'll miss the chance to learn from them. Atlas displayed more images on the screens. Other worlds that had joined the network. The amazing things they'd built. The mysteries they'd solved. Each civilization kept its unique culture while sharing in something greater. The president stood up. Dr. Thompson, you've worked closest with Atlas. Do you trust it? Emily looked at the screens where Atlas had shown humanity a new future. I do, she said, because it didn't just find aliens. It showed us who we could become. The vote was nearly unanimous. Earth would answer the alien signal. Humanity would take its first steps toward joining the galactic network. As Emily walked out of the White House that evening, she looked up at the stars. They didn't seem distant anymore. Thanks to an AI that could think in new ways, humanity had found its place in a much bigger community. Atlas had done more than find aliens. It had shown humanity a path to the future. A future where human minds and artificial intelligence would work together to explore the greatest mystery of all, what we could become. The next message they sent to the stars would be the beginning of humanity's greatest adventure.